Hello, you're watching VNA's Bulletin. I'm Bongo from Hanoi and now the headlines. Deputy Prime Minister Blinken affirms efforts to ensure people's right to development. Vietnam and Singapore hold ministerial meeting on economic connectivity. EU-funded project has promoted a responsible tourism in Mekong Delta. Deputy Prime Minister Blinken has affirmed Vietnam's all-out effort to ensure people's right to development while addressing the high-level meeting of the UN General Assembly to mark the 30th anniversary of the Declaration on the Right to Development. The anniversary took place on the sidelines on the UN's ongoing 71st session in New York on September 22nd. The Deputy Prime Minister, who is also Foreign Minister, stated Vietnam has made all-out efforts to ensure the right to development for every person. While placing people at the center of development, Vietnam has mainstreamed the right to development in various policies, including all three dimensions of sustainable development, including social, economic, and environmental policies. The countries have also worked tirelessly to create an enabling environment for the most vulnerable groups and ensure equal development opportunities for all people in the country, he said. He stated Vietnam is willing to work with other member states to make the UN development system fit for purpose so that all people in the planet can enjoy their unequivocal right to development. On the sidelines of the 71st session of the UN General Assembly in New York, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Blinken met with U.S. Deputy Secretary of State Antony Blinken. The two officials agreed to increase dialogues to strengthen bilateral relations. Deputy Prime Minister Minh and Antony Blinken discussed how to translate the agreements reached during the visit to Vietnam by U.S. President Barack Obama in May 2016 into actions. They agreed to work together to manage differences between two countries. The two officials talked about regional politics and security, including traditional and non-traditional security challenges. They discussed the settlement of disputes in the AC by peaceful measures and on the basis of respecting international law. While meeting Bulgarian Foreign Minister Daniel Mitov, Deputy Prime Minister Minh suggested Bulgaria accelerate the signing of the Europe-Vietnam Free Trade Agreement and soon recognize Vietnam's market economy status. Following the meeting, the two officials signed an agreement on real estate of the two countries' diplomatic representative offices. On this occasion, Deputy Prime Minister and Foreign Minister Minh had a meeting with Hungarian Minister of External Economy and Foreign Affairs, Cisato Peter, during which they noted their hope to foster the two countries' traditional relationship across fields. The same day, Deputy Prime Minister Minh held a roundtable talk with more than 25 large U.S. businesses, including big investors in Vietnam like Intel, MetLife, Cargill, and Coca-Cola. Vice Chairman of the Vietnam National Assembly Phùng Quốc Hiển held talk with Vice President of the Norwegian Parliament Svein Roald Hansen in Oslo on September 22nd to deepen relations between the two countries and their legislatures. The legislators agreed to maintain the exchange of delegations, step up political consultations, and support each other at multilateral forums and international organizations, especially the United Nations, the Asia-Europe meeting, and the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. He said Vietnam is willing to serve as a bridge between Norway and ASEAN and called on Norway to support Vietnam's bid for a seat of the United Nations Security Council for the 2020 to 2021 term. He also hoped that Norway will maintain its official development assistance to the country and replicate its projects in agriculture and rural economic development in disadvantaged areas. Hun Sen said he will lead a delegation of Norwegian parliamentarians to Vietnam in October to accelerate the signing of the free trade agreement between Vietnam and the European Free Trade Association. While in Norway, National Assembly Vice Chairman Hiền met with Finance Minister Sept, during which the two sides agreed to encourage Norwegian firms to operate in Vietnam. Jensen said many Norwegian firms are interested in the Vietnamese market and plan to invest in navigation and fisheries in the country. He noted that Vietnam hopes to exchange its experience with Norway in international economic integration, as well as challenges in public debt management. During his working visit to Cambodia from September 21st to 23rd, Vietnamese Minister of Information and Communications Chiu Minh Tuấn was received by Cambodian Prime Minister Hun Sen.
Prime Minister Hun Sen emphasized the need for Cambodia and Vietnam to increase the sharing of information to develop relations between the two countries. Tuấn expressed his hope that the Cambodian leader will continue to support the cooperation programs in information and communications. He added that Vietnamese ministries and agencies will coordinate with the Cambodian side to deepen bilateral relations in all areas. The same day, Minister Chiu Minh Tuấn held talks with Cambodian Minister of Posts and Telecommunications Cham Ip Tek and Minister of Information Khieu Kharit. During the meeting, the two sides discussed measures to foster collaboration in this field. They also signed 4 cooperation documents. Right in Cambodia, the Vietnamese minister also visited the Vietnamese embassy.
The 12th Ministerial Meeting on Vietnam-Singapore Economic Connectivity was held in Singapore on September 23rd. Singaporean Minister of Industry and Trade Lim Hong Kiang and Vietnamese Minister of Planning and Investment Nguyen Chi Dũng co-chaired the meeting.
At the meeting, the two sides reviewed the outcomes of cooperation in 6 areas since the last meeting in the central province of Thừa Thiên Huế in April 2015. They expressed delight at the strong growth of bilateral ties recently, especially in investment, trade and education and training. Singapore is currently the 3rd largest investor in Vietnam with over 1,600 projects with combined capital of $38 billion. In 2015, bilateral trade reached $16 billion. The Vietnam-Singapore industrial parks have been built in 7 localities of Vietnam, attracting $9 billion worth of projects and creating 170,000 jobs. The two sides discussed measures to increase two-way trade and call for more Singaporean investment in agriculture, aquatic farming and transportation projects in Vietnam. Vietnam proposed Singapore continue supporting education projects and increase scholarships for Vietnamese students, as well as cooperation in cybersecurity and startups. The Vietnam-Singapore Economic Connectivity Agreement was signed by the two governments in 2005, focusing on the areas of finance, education and training, traffic and transportation, information and communications, investment, trade and services.
The Vietnam-Cambodia Business Forum 2016 took place in Phnom Penh on September 22nd with attendance of 250 delegates from both countries. The forum provided a chance for the participants to study the investment environments and policies of Vietnam and Cambodia and discuss ways to boost two-way trade.
Vietnamese ambassador to Cambodia, Thach Du, said Vietnam and Cambodia hold substantial potentials for cooperation in economy, trade, investment, tourism, and other fields. He stressed that Vietnam is one of Cambodia's leading economic partners, with two-way trade reaching $3.4 billion in 2015. Vietnam is running 182 projects with a total registered capital of $2.85 billion in Cambodia, and Vietnam has the largest number of tourists in the neighboring country with 988,000. Vice Secretary General of the Council for Development of Cambodia, Che Vu Thi, briefed the participants on Cambodia's investment climate and policies. He said Vietnam ranks 5th among countries investing in Cambodia, with the most noteworthy projects focusing on agriculture and industry, valued at $958 million. Vietnam and Cambodia has set a target of $5 billion in bilateral trade value in 2017.
How to effectively implement a national action plan on air quality management up to 2020 with a vision toward 2025 was the subject of a recent conference in Hanoi. The conference on September 22nd was held. The approval of the action plan aims to boost the management of air quality via controlling sources of exhaust emission and monitoring air quality towards improving the quality of air environment and ensuring public health. The plan also acts on minimizing particle pollution at major sources of exhaust, mainly in industrial, energy, construction and transport sectors, while completing the implementation of a Prime Minister decision on controlling motorbike exhaust. Another goal of the action plan is to determine pollution levels in big cities and increase the national capability in controlling greenhouse gas to contribute to fulfilling Vietnam's commitment on greenhouse gas emission. The monitoring of air quality will be strengthened by increasing the number of automated air quality measurement stations in cities. An EU-funded project has supported 3 Mekong Delta localities to develop responsible tourism, manage local destinations, develop tourism products, train human resources for tourism, and build marketing plans. A conference in Can Tho City on September 22nd was held. An Giang Province, Can Tho City, and Kiên Giang Province were given 21 sets of technical documents by representatives from the project Environmentally and Socially Responsible Tourism Capacity Development Program. The localities have worked to promote their tourism products through fairs and build a map of tourism sites and a code of conduct for responsible tourism in the region. Since 2013, the project has assisted Vietnam in promoting the delivery of environmentally and socially responsible tourism, building an effective tourism cooperation network between the state and the private sector, improving the quality and competitiveness of the tourism workforce, and raising public awareness of responsible tourism. Apart from the Mekong Delta region, the project has also supported a number of key tourism areas, including those in Northwest, Coastal Central, and Northern Central regions. The 6th Europe Meets Asia in Contemporary Dance is underway in Hanoi, drawing applause from both the media and public. German, French, Israeli, Japanese, Austrian, and Vietnamese dancers join the event. The performances move between reality and imagination. They explore the innermost depths of human beings, staged with breathtaking choreography and impressive light and media installations. A highlight of the dancing festival is Laundries in Hanoi, performed by German dancer and choreographer Ricky von Franken and Nguyen Trinh Thi from Hanoi. After the final performances in Hanoi on September 25th, participating troops will leave for a 2-day show in Ho Chi Minh City. Since 2011, the Europe Meets Asia in Contemporary Dance program has contributed to growing awareness of contemporary dance in Vietnam and to a strengthened link between Vietnamese and international artists. And that's wrap up our news bulletin. Thanks for watching and see you next time.